Hey guys, it's Summer Rayne from Homestead, Brooklyn, and today I'm going to do an unboxing of LeGrow. So I got this gift a little while back when LeGrow was doing its Kickstarter, and now I have a new LeGrow. And if you're not familiar with them, it's this pretty cool modular planter. Of course, they get their name after Lego because they pop into place. And the good news about this is not something that I am going to keep. This is something that I'm going to give away. So if you haven't yet, please tune in to my Instagram at Homestead Brooklyn, or you could tune in onto my email at Homestead Brooklyn so you could find out more about this giveaway. And believe me, it's a really cool modular system, and it's pretty packed tight in here. So I'm going to need some time to actually open this up and assemble it, but that's exactly what I'm going to do today. All right, so let's see what we have in here. It's packed together very nicely. Let's see if I could grab it out of here. Ta-da! So this is the LeGrow system. And again, you might have seen it if you follow along on my blog at homesteadbrooklyn.com. I assembled one of these for myself, but you'll see here that they have these stackable systems, and you could have a 2.5-inch soil-based plant that you could put on the inside. And you could water it from the top, but there's a watering base down below. And then this is a very clever humidifier. So you'll see here that they have a maidenhair right here, and then a sarracenia right here. Theoretically, these are plants that really like high humidity, so I'm sure you could actually use that. But I've also planted succulents in here as well. So you could actually pop this LeGrow system in place and grow what you want to grow within it. So let's see what else is in that box. See some extra systems. So you'll see this is one of the modular systems kind of in place. So if I show you that, there's this little netting on the bottom, and this right here clicks into place. You could also do two on top of one another, so I'll show you how you could do that. So this fits in here, and you could fit that one right on top like that. And that kind of gives you the Lego system of popping into place. So you could build one that has a little bit of a higher tower if you want, and then you could put your plant right in here. And it is a soil-based system, so it's not necessarily like a hydroponic system. See what else that they have given. And here you can actually see that this is another part of the base that has a light. So if you are somebody who has an apartment and you say, oh my gosh, I live in a cave, this is kind of a perfect system for you because it has a nice little sunshine indoor LED light that could actually plug into an electrical outlet and actually give the plant some light. So again, if you're growing something that needs a little bit more like medium or highlight, and you're not even having it next to a window with strong enough or high quality enough light, then you could actually have the lighting system in place as well. Here's a little bit of a base that you could fit some things in. And we have another box right here. So I'm just going to assemble something really quickly. You want to be careful with the humidifier bulb because it is made of glass. So this you could actually take off, and you put the water in here, and that will fit into one of your LeGrow systems. So this is the humidifier tank. You can see it has like a little USB cord right here that will plug into the system. And after you fill this up with water, you put this right in here like that. You don't have to press it down too much. A lot of bubble wrap, but you'll be able to reuse that for another package. This looks like the power cord, and on here it says that it is safe and anti-water, which is always good when you're talking about power cords. Another stackable system, and it has these semi-absorbent filters on the bottom so that soil doesn't go down into there, but you can still grab water. And the water could go down into the little tray. So you get a sense of how these kind of pack in place. Now if you wanted, you could have something that looks a little bit like this. Or you could have something that looks a little bit like this. And you could see if you have multiple systems, you could do multiple ways to actually include and pop things into place. And you could do ones that continue up like this, or you could just have things that are pretty simple and straightforward. And what you'd want to do is just start to plant your plants in here, which I actually have to find some 2.5-inch plants in order to be able to do that. So if you'll excuse me, I'll be right back in a second. So as you see, I've unpacked everything from the box, except for the light, but you can imagine what that would look like. And I just want to go over all the parts because when you're looking at it here, you say, oh my God, this might be confusing, but really it isn't. It's super simple. So you have a base similar to this or a straight one like this. And this is basically where everything will fit into. Then you have the planters. So these are the planters, and it has some filters in there, as well as these little rubber blocks like this that fit into the bottom. And that's what helps you click these things in securely like that. And that's, of course, if you want to get some more height. For the ease of this, I'm going to be building this similarly to that. Now, this is where the power comes from. So you'll see that this is the brain of the system, and it has these little USB sections, which is where the humidifier tower actually clicks into. So if I'm going to do that, I'll click this humidifier tower, and I'm going to face this with the electrical outlets out so you could see what I'm doing. I'm going to plug that one in there. And then this is the power cord that will then power the brain. And I'm going to plug that one in here like this. And I'm going to start assembling these just like so. Now, this humidifier tower is a glass bulb, so you want to be careful with it. And it has this little screw top. And you're going to want to put some water in this. So I'm just going to do that over like this. And you're going to fit this securely in here. And then just dip that out like that. And that'll start to fill into the base. And all you're going to want to do is start to plant some plants. So I have some peperomia here that I actually just pulled out of one of my other containers, and pot up a little peperomia. And I'll put a little bit of soil over here. Now, once these plants get rather large, you're going to want to repot them because this is only a 2.5-inch container system. So you're only going to be growing quite small plants. So you might want to include things like peperomia, for instance, which don't grow large very fast. They pretty much stay a diminutive plant. Or you might want to do like a 2.5-inch succulent because sometimes those succulents don't actually grow so super fast. But this just gives you an idea of what it looks like. I'll turn it around. And if you could look closely, you're going to see some of the humidity coming out of that. And again, this is really helpful because most of us, when we're actually living indoors, don't have a tremendous amount of humidity in our apartments. And many plants that we absolutely adore and love need humidity. So sometimes, in subtropical and tropical climates, you're going to get high humidity plants like calatheas, marantas, and also some peperomia. So they will appreciate the extra humidity with the LeGrow system. And I can't wait to actually be giving one of these away. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on LeGrow. And of course, if you like these episodes, you could subscribe and you could follow along my journey on Instagram at Homestead Brooklyn and on my website at homesteadbrooklyn.com. Bye!